Deuteronomy 12:32 is Moses' final word in this entire section, a sentence spoken with remarkable restraint, yet one that draws an unmistakable, non-negotiable boundary. He is not adding details, he is drawing the final line that must not be crossed. He says, "Everything that I command you, you shall be careful to do. You shall not add to it or take from it." On the surface, the sentence is brief. In reality, it decisively settles the foundation of worship, obedience, and faith all at once. God leaves no room for ambiguity. He does not invite human participation in designing devotion. He does not ask for zeal, creativity, or religious impulse to complete his commands. God requires one thing only, that his word be done exactly as he has spoken. This statement first exposes one of the deepest illusions of the human heart. The belief that as long as our direction is correct and our motives sincere, the methods may be adjusted. God rejects this assumption outright. In God's sight, deviation does not begin with open rebellion. It begins with adding a little or removing a little. Minor adjustments may appear more practical, more timely, more humane, but they have already transferred authority from God back to the self. Once a person decides which commands to keep, which to delay, and which to modify, that person is no longer obeying God, he is using God. Therefore, this verse is not about rule-keeping. It is about who God is. The true God does not require humans to improve his commands, and the true God does not accept loyalty expressed on human terms. When people add their own forms to worship, or subtract the obedience God requires, the object of their worship is no longer the God who speaks, makes covenant, and saves, but a God reshaped to match human expectations. That is not piety. It is a replacement of God. Moses places this sentence here, because he knows that once Israel enters the Promised Land, the greatest danger will not be the open denial of God, but the mixing of God. They will continue to use God's name, continue religious activity, and continue to consider themselves God's people, while gradually reshaping God's word into something they can tolerate. It is precisely within this appearance of devotion, yet reality of deviation, that false gods are most easily produced. God's severity here is not cruelty. It is clarity born of knowledge. When people worship God according to their own imagination, God gives them over to the collapse of human wisdom, the darkening of perception, and the loss of discernment, until they can no longer tell whether they are worshiping God or preserving their own religious sense of security. This is no minor error. It is a path that leads to judgment. Thus, Deuteronomy 12:32 restores faith to its proper order. God's command comes first. Human obedience follows. God draws the boundary. People stand within it. It is not for me to decide how to worship God. God determines how I am to stand before him. When obedience is recognized as foundational rather than optional, people no longer need to invent faith, nor bear the burden of becoming manufacturers of false gods. God's word is already sufficient. To take away is rebellion, to add is presumption, and true life is found only on the path God himself has drawn.